Hey, what's going on YouTube? So, wanted to do a little gameplay walkthrough. This is an older game, obviously, pretty much all of them are, but this is SSX Tricky, obviously for the PS2, and this was another one of my favorite games growing up, so this is one that I wanted to get recorded. I thought it'd be cool to do. I'm just going to do a little single event right quick on Garibaldi. I am using Mac. I've upgraded them a little bit. Matt, Kaori, and Moby are the ones that I've worked on the most. Moby I'm pretty much done with. So I figured I'd use one that I wasn't quite done with yet. Going to do a race on semi-pro. And like I said, just give you guys a quick little walkthrough right quick of what SSX Tricky is. And how basically how the game runs through. Just a normal race on the basic map. So I believe this game came out, I want to say 2002. Let me look that up to be sure, but it was one of the 2001. So it was one of the first games. I believe it was. I think it was between SSX 2 and SSX 3. But this is, I don't know if this is the biggest hill in the game. If it's not, that it's one of them. Obviously, it's one of the best when you're completing your trick book to go off and take advantage of. Obviously, when you're trying to complete your trick book, Garibaldi is one of the best maps to do it on anyway, just because most people know where all the hills are. It's a really easy map. There's not much to run into, and unlike when you're playing on a map like Tokyo Megaplex or Mercury City, you can run into a lot of stuff on there. And like I said, this was a game that was a lot of fun. It was really the only snowboarding game I ever played on a consistent basis. I played SSX 3 a little bit, but like I said, these were pretty much the only ones, and this one was a pretty crazy fun game for me. And I played it for quite a while. I've noticed that I actually went to a not really a retro gaming store. I guess you could consider 2001 retro at this point, but kind of like a throwback gaming store. They had a bunch. So it was pretty much a retro gaming store, but they have Xbox One, PS4 games too, but it dates all the way back to Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. They had all those type of games. Nintendo 64, which was actually the first console I ever played on, and I was able to pick up a couple extra games. PS2 was really the first console that that I played on a consistent basis as a kid. I did have a Nintendo 64 and a PlayStation 1, but PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 were kind of my kind of the consoles that I played the most on growing up. I do have an Xbox One right now, so that's the one I play most frequently right now, obviously, and then that trick right there is actually one of my favorites. I believe when you watch the intro, Mac's doing that trick. Every character you have has one specific like 2-button trick. Actually, everyone might have two. I don't remember. And it's each of them are pretty insane to watch. It's pretty cool to see all the characters do them. I don't really remember all of them, but Max is pretty cool. I know that Moby's is pretty cool. Simon's is pretty cool also. I believe this. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it's the one where he spins it around his head like a helicopter. But Mac's one of my favorites overall. He's the best at tricks that you can get when you start off. I never really used Eddie too much, or I'm trying to think of who else you start out with. It's Eddie, Moby. Jeez, I'm blanking on this. Anyway, yeah, Eddie, Moby, and Mac is all that I can come up with off the top of my head. Did wipe out there. Kind of overshot the gap a little bit. That is one of the best shortcuts too. It's simple to know, but I think it's one of the best shortcuts in this game. And you can be in 6th place on this map, be far behind, and that shortcut will put you right back into it. But yeah, draw on to the end of the race here. Pretty nice win, but like I said, this is overall one of my favorite maps too. I like the simple maps that let you do a lot of tricks. I I'm not much for having all the back ways and finding all the extra routes. That was never really my thing. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be doing maybe like Star Wars Battlefront 2, Need for Speed Underground 2, some of those sort of games for the walkthroughs next. And yeah, like I said, I just wanted to do a simple little quick walkthrough of SSX Tricky. So that's pretty much it. So yeah.